Chairman Soliday, Kerwin Olson, CAC, we do rise in opposition to House Bill 1417. It would be unfair of me to not express our gratitude to Chairman Soliday for a second reading amendment that was placed on the bill, which did directly speak to concerns that he and I discussed in House Utilities that did improve the bill. So I do want to thank Chairman Soliday for that. However, we remain opposed to the bill despite that change. First, I would note there's nothing in the bill that speaks to off-nominal events, extraordinary circumstances, unforeseen events. That would bring consumer advocates some comfort if with regulatory assets we're talking about extraordinary events, off-nominal events. Let's say that. Let's put that in the bill, especially as Senator Yoder has noted with the extraordinary list of recoverable expenses. If regulatory assets are about off-nominal events, then let's say so. Let's say so. You know, we also look at this bill from a macro perspective and not necessarily a micro perspective, because we've been talking a lot about utilities for the last 10 or 15 years in this building. And you know, first I would note that one of those conversations was Senate Bill 251 in 2011, the federal mandate statute, which everybody was well aware we crafted out of concern about updated regulations coming from the Obama administration, including the coal ash rule. We knew there was a coal ash rule coming. Coal ash rule wasn't finalized till 2015. Part of that rule was, pre-approval. Coal ash rule required, a plan approved by IDEM, EPA, pre-approval from the commission to recover those costs. You read the Supreme Court opinion, you read the lower court opinion, it says, could have asked for pre-approval, and they chose not to. And again, this is about coal ash. The cases before the courts are not about storm damage or floods or fires. They're about coal ash, and we're also talking, as Chairman Soliday noted, about $500 million here. And we still have a lot of coal ash to clean up, a lot. And consumer advocates like CAC are very concerned that when you look at Senate Bill 9, Senate Enrolled Act 9, removing that pre-approval requirement, added on top of limiting oversight, if you will, with respect to regulatory assets. We're talking about a lot of dough. We all know and understand, you can characterize it either way you want. Some say Indiana has lost its competitive advantage with respect to energy costs, utility costs. We prefer to say we've got an affordability crisis. We're all saying the same thing. And when I say macro level, CAC believes strongly that this is less about resources in coal and gas and wind and solar, and more about regulatory oversight. Because what we have done in this building, in our opinion, is look at all these micro issues and systematically reduced commission oversight and regulation of these investor-owned utilities that has led to extraordinary increases in water, wastewater, gas, and electric bills. Senate Bill 251, federal mandate statute. They now have a tracker for that stuff. Transmission, distribution, they have a tracker for that. Tracker for efficiency, tracker for fuel costs, trackers for power purchase contracts. The list goes on and on. And this is also understanding that now that we're starting to see some data from the utilities in any given month, 250,000 plus Hoosiers receive disconnect notices in their mailboxes, and that's not counting water and wastewater. We know folks are struggling. We know folks are hurting. Ratepayers need a break. Ratepayers deserve a break. Ratepayers deserve some sense and confidence that this building and the regulatory process is here to protect them from the excesses of investor-owned monopolies. We all want financially healthy utilities. Of course we do. Of course we do. But we beg this committee to reject this bill, look at the bigger picture and understand what's going into utility bills in Indiana, and that is reduced oversight, more flexibility for the utilities, less flexibility for the commission. Please let's start a new path. Let's consider consumers and monthly utility bills as we talk about public policy and what the needs are for that public policy, which is protecting the public interest, and that's constituents, small businesses struggling to pay their bills. This will only exacerbate that. This doesn't help customers. And with that, I thank you for your time.
We thank you.